Hello, and thank you for tuning in this beautiful video. First of all, thank you for all the comments I received on my other videos, which I love getting feedback from you guys. This video, its purpose is to first, I want to tell you, when you're mixing a song, the best tool, it's not a plugin, the best tool you can have is to take some time and learn your plugins. Learn how to use your tools. For example, let's say a construction guy doesn't know how to use a hammer. Well, he's going to struggle finding a way to hammer down the nail when he doesn't know that hammer will do the job. So I know it's a stupid reference, but just to tell you that when you know your plugins and you know what they can do for you while you're working on the mix, it saves you a lot of time. On this video, I want to show you how you can use a single compressor as a ducker. Let me explain. A ducker is when a device listens to a different track and it lowers down automatically the volume of a track. Example, let's say you have a bass and you have a drum track, and you want to make sure that the bass drum is heard properly. So you can use this feature to put on your bass drum that listens, or no, the other way around. Sorry, let me rewind. All right, you put this on your bass and you make this compressor listen to the bass drum so that every time you have a bass drum hit, it ducks down the bass by a few dB or maybe 0.5 dB so that the kick drum stays on top. In this demonstration, I will show how you can use it for a different purpose. My name is Sylvain Rochon from HomeStudioLogic.com, and I'm here to give you wonderful tips to help you have better mixes and to make your music sound great. So let's dive into Logic, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me put my headphones. All right, so we are in Logic. All right. This song, first of all, is a song that I wrote on April 17th of this year. It was my mother's birthday. My mother passed away in 2021 from cancer. And this woman, I don't know how, but she was smiling all the time. Even when the doctors told her a year before that she had terminal cancer, that woman was smiling every day. So on April 17th, I was at home feeling blue, if you want, and a song popped up in my head. So I wrote this song called Your Smile. All right, so in this song, I've got a saxophone solo right here. This saxophone solo, at a certain point, I've got some backing vocals coming in, and I wanted to make sure that the vocals are heard properly, so I wanted the saxophone to be ducked just a little bit. But you'll say, well, you can use automation, you can automate your volume, your levels. Yeah, sure, I can do that if I want. But in between the notes of the vocals, in this case, it doesn't apply because I've got some whoos going on and they're constant, so the saxophone is ducked all the time. But let's say it wouldn't be ducked all the time. Well, it makes the volume vary just a tiny bit, so it brings up back that saxophone solo while the vocals are not there, if you're getting what I'm talking about. So I've inserted a compressor on the saxophone track that is sidechained to the bus 36. This is the bus of my vocals. So when this compressor hears the vocal coming on, it ducks the saxophone. And you control it with the threshold. Just notice that the attack is fast and the release is fast. That's what we want. And the ratio is 2:1. I don't need to have a big ratio, and I can control here the amount of ducking that I want. So let's listen to it without this on so you can have a good idea of what it's doing. And then I'll turn it on and you'll see what it's doing for me. So let me press play, and you're hearing it right now without the compressor on. Miss you. So I don't know if I told you, but this saxophone solo has been it's my wife that did it, that played it. Now let's put the ducker at threshold very low, and let's adjust it while it's happening. So let's go to the section where the vocals will come in, and we'll bring it up until we maybe get a 1.5 to 2 dB reduction. So let's use our ears to say, oh, that's enough, okay? So let's do it. Let's do it again and see if what we applied is enough. So we're getting almost 2 dB reduction. I would probably give it just a little bit more. You have to remember, you don't want your saxophone or your listener to technically hear that it's been ducked. So you want it to be as subtle as possible, but you want the effect you're looking for. So let's listen to it again. I give it just a little bit more and see if it's good when we listen to it. You know what? I'm going to give it a little bit more. Maybe go to 22 dB of threshold. I think that's pretty good. We're pretty close. For sure, I'm going to maybe change it later on. But the idea of this video is to show you what you can do with this feature. A second thing that I did on this song, and I used it on, I've got this synth bass that I introduced in verse number 2. But while that synth bass is very deep, so the frequency is very low. I also have a bass drum that creates some sort of a heartbeat kind of effect that is very low as well. So I want to make sure that this bass drum is heard. I don't want the bass to override this bass drum, and I don't want to use the level of that bass drum and bring it up because it changes my mix, my total mix. So what I did the same thing on this track here. I got a compressor that is sidechained to that heartbeat bass drum. So let's have a listen to it, and you'll see that it's triggering and lowering down the bass every bass drum hit. So let's press play.
Letting you go was the hardest part. I think of your life story, feeling your heart, saying goodbye without wanting to, embracing a future without you, without you. I miss your smile.
So you're getting the picture. You can use this feature basically on anything, and it's a very useful tool, and it involves using a single compressor. Now, you need that compressor to have the sidechain feature for sure. So you can use whatever compressor you have, stock or maybe you purchase, as long as it's got the sidechain feature. Like, for example, the UAD 1176 doesn't have the sidechain feature, so you cannot use it. It won't work. So if you like content like this, well, you can subscribe to my channel. You can ring the bell and give me a thumbs up if you like it. I'm here to help, and I'm here to give you great tips and tools on how you can enhance your mixes and make them sound as professional as they can be. And meanwhile, if you go on my website, you subscribe to my website, you become on my email list, well, I'll be giving by email a bunch of information on a regular basis on how you can improve your mixes. Also, you get access to my free mixing guide. You have 8 steps from the static mix to the end result of your mix that if you follow the 8 steps, you'll know at the end that you're done. Because the biggest problem we have is that we're never done. Every time that we listen to our mix, something pops up. It comes to a point where we're actually seeking problems. We're actually looking for things that aren't right. Why? Because we can't believe that we're done. But if you follow the steps, you'll know at the end result that you're done. So until then, I'll see you on the next video, and thank you for watching.